Okay, so we are watching NSRune3, who is bronze 1, that's one below silver, playing Winston on Nepal. And he says, I know I'm bad at tanking, and this match specifically, we got rolled. I know I did a lot wrong. I chose this match because while I know I played poorly, I'd like some advice on what we could have done besides just try to reset every time we lost a team fight. I can see that I dove when I shouldn't have in a few spots, and I was pretty tilted due to some rude in-game calling from some teammates who were definitely not helping. I don't see a lot of my error. I think I see a lot of my errors. There are several instances I know I should have turned around but didn't, but I'm specifically looking for how I should have engaged the enemy team in a match like this. I'm not sure what I should have been doing for a lot of this match where it felt like my team was just feeding the Zarya while I couldn't get a pick on any of the squishies. I swapped the Roadhog at some point because I felt like we couldn't get a pick and that did not help. This is one of my worst matches so far. Should I post more? Any feedback is appreciated. Okay, so let's watch this. It sounds like you're already aware of some of your problems. I'm probably going to see the same things, but let's play this out. Oh, so first thing I think is really important, especially as a tank, is to see what are your supports, right? What are you working with, especially in terms of the amount of healing and utility you're going to get. You have a Kiriko and you have a Zen. So Kiriko is kind of an interesting choice for Winston. She's both good and she is bad. She is good because she can dive with you. She can save you from anti-nade or from stuns or from hooks. She's bad in the sense that she can't reliably heal you at distance. It takes way too long for her healing papers, the Fuda, to get to you. So when you dive in, you kind of expect that you need to kind of get out on your own. It's not like when you have an Ana where you could expect a solid source of healing. You need to know that you need to leave earlier than you would with an Ana healing you, unless she dives in with you. But if she dives in with you, then you're kind of responsible for her survival, so that might force you to stick around a little longer than you expect. So it's complicated. Zen is a good match for Winston. Obviously, you can get Harmony from him, but it's only 30 health a second. It's not a lot. He probably has the Harmony on either your support or your other DPS, so I wouldn't expect it. He can, however, Discord people, which is a huge deal, which allows you to kill them much, much faster, and he puts a lot of range pressure on the team. So when I look at this lineup, I'm thinking, I want a good solid dive. I want somebody that the Zen can see, and I want to kill them quickly, and then I need to get back to my Kiriko to get healed, and then reset and do the whole same thing again. I definitely don't want to get into like a long, brawly fight here, right? I want to isolate people with the Zen, get the kill, move on. Alright, for some reason pop bubble at start doesn't really make a difference, but I don't know why. I would have jumped over the top, right? Shift cooldown's pretty fast. It would have gotten you to this fight sooner. Yeah, I actually think this is important enough to actually note this right here. When you left the ship, right here, you should have jumped up high to high ground, right? That gets you to the point faster. Your Reaper's teleporting already. You'd be able to play with the Reaper if you had shifted. Like, that's totally normal. People use their movement abilities to get to the fight. Now, your Reaper has gone in early, quote unquote, because you're not there. But normally, as a Winston, you should be there. Like, you should be up here right now fighting with him. That's probably going to force him to shift to use Wraith Form early. Or I guess he's just crazy and he doesn't think he needs to. But now you have two DPS that are hurt, right? Their whole team is full health, and you haven't done anything yet, which is unfortunate. You should have gotten here earlier. Okay, so now you dove. This is not a great dive because you don't actually know right now what they have or like where they're set up. I would have gone further up the stairs to figure out where people are positioned because you're spending a dive to the right, but there's no one here, right? And now, like, you're not putting any pressure on the team. Like, they're literally just going to ignore you right now and take the point, right? And push your team backwards. So right now, you're actually doing worse than nothing. They're actually gaining ult charge off of you while you just stand here. And you're just kind of zapping. I would probably move forward it's kind of tricky because wouldn't have put myself in this situation to begin with, but I guess I would move forward right now because you're not doing anything of any use to your team right now by standing here doing nothing. Okay, so you've lost your Zen. In my heart, I'm probably thinking, I've already made at least 2 mistakes. I should have gotten here sooner, and I dove and did nothing with my first dive. Now we've lost our Zen. We're probably going to lose this fight, so I'm just thinking to farm ulti, honestly, unless like something magical happens. So again, I don't actually know where the Zarya is. The Zarya is like way the heck in the back for some reason. But I'd probably, again, be thinking to go and start zapping, and then you shift to get out. So these are 4 people. This is a great opportunity to zap, right? This is 4 times ult charge that you could be farming really, really, really quickly, right? You could use bubble to stay in longer and then shift to get out. Instead, you back out, which is not great. At some point, you got to fight as a tank, right? Like, your job is to fight them. You have bubble. I would use bubble and start zapping and bubble dance here. Okay, you're playing the corner, which again would be great if you didn't have all your cooldowns and your support is with you, right? Because you back up, your Kiriko is now in danger, right? What's she gonna do here? She can like Suzu, or she can basically jump away from you. But if she jumps away from you, you're never gonna get healing. So you backing up allowed the Zarya to move forward. I guarantee you, if you walk forwards with Bubble and zap the backline, the Zarya will focus on you and not go for your Kiriko here. Right? She Suzus, which is unfortunate, right? Because now you don't have to view. You zap just the Zarya for like 10 ammo maybe, and then you start reloading. Even though there's plenty of people, you jump to the other side of the point, which is interesting because there's nobody really over here. Like, you don't want to be fighting the Zarya. The only person over here is the Zarya. You had access to their backline where you were. Like, you didn't need to go anywhere. Right? Like, if you look, like, you could just walk forward. I guess maybe you see the Tracer, but you also... Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess if you were trying to kill this Tracer, it would have been a good call to kill the Tracer, but you misjudged the jump. That should have been a short jump, so you should hold S backwards, right? And then jump in order to make sure that you land on her, and then that should insta kill her when she's trapped. Okay, so you're 238 health. You're still down your Zen. You know you don't have a lot of healing. Your Reaper and Kiriko are pretty committed to the point. Your Junk's here, and you're already down. I'm thinking I'm going to lose this fight, but I'm like, I might as well do as much damage as I can. I'm probably jumping in here, but I want to go past the Zarya and use the bubble to kind of dance a bit. Yeah, exactly. Like this spot right here, that's where I want to be right now. Walking up like this is the worst possible call because this Tracer's going to melt you, and remember that you have no healing, right? You only have one Kiriko, one Zen. Zen's dead already. The Kiriko can't heal you from the other side of the point. You have to figure out how to extend this life, get as much value as you can with only 250 health. Letting the Kiriko, the Tracer, take away half of your remaining health for nothing is the wrong call. So you zap the Tracer here, you do 40 damage, which is nothing. Your rest of your team is dead because you still haven't gone in and done anything yet. You've yet to land a single dive on the team, despite having 3 different opportunities to do so. And I guess I'd probably try to get out now to give ult charge to my supports. Okay. You, unfortunately, are in big trouble because this Tracer should kill you right here. That somehow the Tracer doesn't kill you. Honestly, the Tracer should kill you here. Okay, so your team's coming out right now. You're resetting. You're going to go again. Yeah. Okay, so let's think about how to attack this. So you know they have a Zarya, right? And remember, you don't want to fight the Zarya. The Zarya will melt you. Even at low charge, the Zarya will melt you. So you don't want to fight the Zarya. You do want to zap everybody else on the point. So the first thing you got to do is you got to figure out where are they on the point. So you got to be scouting. Taking the flank route, this is perfectly fine, right? You're like, okay, there's a Tracer here. You don't want to jump with the Tracer. So, the problem here is the Tracer can easily get away from you, right? She's just going to blink one away, and then you've wasted your dive and not done anything with it. If anything, I'd want to get deeper in to make sure I have access to the backline first, right? So the Tracer just used one blink and ate up your shift, which is not ideal, right? I would have walked up further and then dove in to make sure I get the impact damage from landing, which is 50, which is not insignificant. All right, so your good spot here to zap. Again, you're moving backwards, which is a weird call because you kind of want to get in and cleave more people, right? You're only zapping one person here. You could get all 4 on the left, or at least the Tracer and the Mercy on the right. I probably would aim for the 4 on the left so that both of the supports are being hit. Okay, you're zapping, you're zapping. You still haven't popped bubble. Okay, now you've popped bubble, but now you're leaving. Like, what's the point of this, right? Like, the whole point of the bubble is to help you stay in longer. If you're going to leave anyway, why even bother popping bubble? You should have used the bubble danced, and then zapped people away for quite a while, and then dove backwards. Your Kiriko, I believe, is with you right now, right? So, let's go to... Sorry, free cam. So bad at using the Spectre overlay. Yeah, your Kiriko's with you the whole time. So, like, you are in no danger of dying here whatsoever. You could have bubbled and then, like, bubble dance, like, right here and just zap the heck out of the team, right? And then dove out when you're really feeling like you're in serious trouble, but you are not. Okay, so now you've dove back to your team, which is interesting because your Kiriko's actually was with you the whole time, so that you don't really need to dive that far back. That's fine. So now you're going forwards. This is kind of a bad situation to be in. You're zapping the Zarya. She has a good amount of charge, and she's going to be melting you, right? You're not putting any pressure on the supports. You're just zapping the Zarya. Again, not doing anything. Okay, I think jumping this left side is reasonable. You're over jumping it. You could angle it shorter, so you come down faster. But fine. I mean, I think the overall position of like playing the left side, totally reasonable, right? Play this pillar, right? You have bubble coming up soon. Put a lot of damage in right now. Okay, you're zapping exclusively the Tracer. You're way too concerned with trying to melee her. Again, zap these 3 people right here. Like, you're not going to be able to kill a Tracer unless the Tracer is trying, basically let you kill her, right? There's virtually no way, unless you've seen her use Rewind and use 3 blinks, preferably 4 blinks, there's no way you're ever going to kill that Tracer. Just zap the people that are right here. Build ult charge, put pressure on the team. You have bubble. You put it down kind of late, right? So now you're already down to half health. And once again, you're thinking about leaving, right? You're just leaving right away. You haven't used the bubble to do anything, right? You need to use your bubble to stay in the fight longer to do damage. I think that your total damage at this point is probably under 400. I probably would have nearly 2,000 at this point. Right? Just because if you use the bubble to keep zapping people, you will do a lot of damage. You do about 60 damage a second, right? For 4 targets, which you had multiple opportunities, that's 240 damage a second. And your bubble is not going to break for at least 2 or 3 seconds, right? That's like, 750 plus damage right there, not including impact damage or any other like chip damage you managed to get in. Okay, you've dropped backwards. Again, this is not a high healing lineup, right? It's not like you're going to go back to an Ana or a Moira who's going to top you up right away. This is not the way your team is constructed. Like, you need to dive in and make impact right away, and that is not happening. Okay. Your Junk is carrying you, by the way. He's gotten, like, so many kills, a lot of damage. He trapped the Tracer earlier, which should have been insta-kill for you. Like, your team is not the issue here. Your Kiriko's been following you and doing a good job. Like, it's just you personally are having no impact on this fight whatsoever. Okay, so you've stepped up here. You've ignored the Sojourn shot, which went across your face. I don't know what you're thinking here. Like, I don't know why you don't jump on these 2 and pressure them. Okay, your Bastion's in right now. Like, your Bastion, your DPS is in, getting kills, putting pressure in. You're playing way the heck in the back, right? I don't get this. It feels like you're literally just letting your teammates die without having, just like giving up effectively. And now you're here like, what are you going to do? Now you've jumped in when you have 100 health and your teammates are dead. And of course you die. Oh wow, and your Kiriko gets the kill out of it. Like, your team is like actually carrying you here. Like, literally, if you had one good dive at any point in time, this point would have been capped already. So, you mentioned that you got pretty tilted by in-game calls. I mean, honestly, if I was your teammates, I don't flame anybody, but I personally would be frustrated at the fact that you haven't done anything yet. I think that I would just mute them. Like, honestly, like, just leave voice chat. Like, especially at bronze, you don't need voice chat at all. Like, leave voice, leave text, right? Just don't interact with anybody and play your own game and work on your own mechanics to improve. Alright, you're coming out again. You still are only halfway to ult. That's pretty bad. You should definitely be close to ult or have ult by now. You are going to decide to switch, which is not the right call here, right? They have a very diveable lineup between the Sojourn, right? The Tracer and the Mercy. And Bubble. Winston's a great counter against Zarya because she really can't burn through Bubble very quickly and she's not very mobile. I think Winston's a perfectly reasonable pick here. You've gone Roadhog against Zarya, which means that you now need to think about bubble management. She already has high charge and she already has Grav, right? She hasn't died the whole time, so she's got to be close to or at Grav. It's gonna be really hard to come back as Hog here. I would rather play Winston with 0% here than Hog. So let's see what you're gonna do. All right, so you come up. Also, Roadhog's not a great choice against Sojourn too, because Sojourn can build her charge off you very, very quickly, which will result in your teammates getting melted, and then you're like, why are my teammates dying? Because you're feeding her charge. So, the worst thing you do as Roadhog here is run it down main, because it's very obvious you're coming and there's lots of cover for them. Well, on cue, actually, let's see how much she built off of you. So she's at 0. She farms 86 charge off of you, and then the last little bit on the Bastion, and then she right-clicks and kills the Junkrat. So if you're Winston, this never happens, right? Because you probably shift, right, to high ground or over there. Like, this never happens if you play Winston. So that pick is effectively your fault. I mean, your teammates have, like, some liability, but mostly. Okay, you're emoting, which honestly, in the grand scheme, is actually not going to make a big difference because your team's dead anyway. Like, what are you going to... Even if you just kill her now, it's not going to make a difference. So now, it is currently 2-on-5. You take a wide angle back, which is a bad idea, because even if you get a hook here, you're not going to kill them because you know Zarya's going to have all her bubbles. You haven't seen her use any. And you're just feeding ult charge right now. Alright, now you're just kind of running around in circles. You're feeding ult charge. You're doing literally worse than nothing. You're actually feeding them ult charge and allowing Sojourn to charge her gun again. Okay. The Moira's bubble is off. You missed this hook. This is a pretty bad hook to miss. I mean, the Moira doesn't even register that you're there. She's jumping, so she can't strafe. Like, this is a hook you have to hit if you're going to play Roadhog and ever expect to climb. Alright. Miss. Cool. Alright, so now we're going to run again. So again, 15% left. This is a really hard position to be in as Roadhog because you only have time to take a flank. At this point, you have to run it down main. Like, you have no choice. The odds of you winning this game are like 1% at this point. There's virtually no way. Your Tracer, right, and other support ults are up, so conceivably, or rather, I'm not even looking at the right team. Your Tire is up, and Kitsune Rush is up, so she could get you to the point faster here. You don't have Whole Hog, which is really unfortunate. I'd probably be looking for a pick kill on the supports while running it down main. This would be a big hook, right? Right here, you have time. The Mercy hasn't registered. You're there. She's playing way too far forward. You can hook and kill her right away right now. You try, unfortunately, too late. Okay, you take cover, which is unfortunate because you only have 10% left, so you kind of need to get to the point. Like, I would just pop E here while walking to the point. Okay, so tired. You've traded DPS, so conceivably winnable. Mercy's in the air. This is also, she's flying in a straight line. This is a hook you gotta land. Like, if you're gonna play Roadhog, you gotta throw a hook, right? Killing her while she's Valk, big deal. And she's rezzing. Okay. Fortunately, you miss. I think it looks like maybe you like hit the Zarya. Yeah, you hit the Zarya. So she does a good job blocking that. So like, if you'd thrown it slightly sooner, you would have been okay. But other than that, you can't get it. And now it's 5-on-4. The odds of you winning this are very, very low. Your hook is on cooldown. I'd probably be walking up to them at this point, hoping that I can one-shot somebody by left-clicking them in the face. That's pretty much your only call here. All right, Trace Pulse Sound. So I would pop E right now to react to this so I don't take too much damage. Okay. Now use E. So when you do this, when you do E, turn your head away from the enemy team. Otherwise, they can do more damage to you because they can get headshots. If you turn away, especially if you turn away and look down, there's no way for them to headshot you. Okay. So somehow your Junkrat's still carrying you, getting kills, like just without any advantages, getting kills all the time. You need to hook and kill the Sojourn. You do a shot into the ground. You shot. This is on target. Like if you shift right here, she's hooked. Miss again. Okay. Well, you're not gonna use your hooks on much faster cooldown than was in Overwatch 1. You gotta land hooks. You're reloading right now. Your heal is in 2 seconds. I honestly would have taken cover to the right because you had some time to give me another second for the heal to come back up. You've hooked the Zarya, which is not gonna do anything. She has full health. I'm pretty sure she's gonna have a bubble here. I wouldn't even bother trying to hook her. I would heal and walk towards her. And you're dead. Alright, so overall, thinking about the first point, like, you had no impact on either one of your tank heroes, to be perfectly honest, right? As Winston, you're not diving at the right times, you're not using bubble, you're not damaging the enemy, then you switch off Winston, which was the wrong call, to Roadhog. You both don't throw that many hooks, and you don't land them. Yeah. It's tough. Like, you're not going to win games like this. Alright, let's see if you do any better on the second point.
Score 0-1.
Okay, so you decide to go Hog first, which is okay. I mean, if you're a good Hog, then you play Hog in basically any scenario. But you have to land hooks.
Round 2.
So you have pretty comparable lineup. You're running the Bastion now, and then your Junk has gone Soldier, which is fine. You haven't gone top left, which I think is the right call. I think going top left as a Roadhog is suicide. Alright, you're going to point. You're looking for hooks. This is a good hook opportunity. I probably would have thrown that, right? Why not? Like, it doesn't hurt. Now I'm definitely throwing this hook. For sure, I'm throwing this hook. And in fact, I'm doing the right-click hook, left-click combo because she's being healed by a Mercy, so I might not be able to one-tap her. So I'd right-click, hook, and then shoot just to make sure I get this. Okay. Of course, they have Zarya, right? Which is reasonable. You know, it's okay. I personally just forgot about that until right now. So your hook would have landed, but the bubble lands. Great. It's fine. You heal. You know, just take cover. It's fine. I mean, I would heal right now. Okay. So now you have 3 seconds. You got to be looking for a hook, right? You're looking for a hook that the Zarya can't see. So you can hear the Zarya on your left. I would be going right. You can hear the beam coming. She is gone, and this is a bad hook to miss. Yeah, I mean, you gotta. That's rough. Okay, now you're feeding the Zarya a ton of ult charge. She's already at 25%. You're going to the Mega. Okay, you should have gotten the Mega, right? If you don't know, the Mega is right here at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so you've hooked the Zarya, which I've already pointed out is entirely useless. I literally wouldn't even bother hooking the Zarya because nobody's there to help you kill her. You're just bringing her closer to you, which is great for her, so she can kill you. Your poor soldier is like running back and he's super low. He's dead. You're feeding more ultra. Your Zarya's already at 56%. They haven't capped the point, and your Zarya almost is like over half the way to ultimate. Alright, you get the Mega, so you do in fact know where it is. You have hook available now. You throw it, but the bubble blocks it. That was just, I would have waited another second there because you kind of figured she would think, like, if she's in the open, she knows she has bubble, right? Okay, I think this hook is understandable. You know, sometimes the Tracer doesn't react fast enough. I think that's a reasonable hook to throw. I think right now, excluding times where you've hooked Zarya, I think you're like 0 for 6, 0 for 7. Playing Roadhog is like playing Widowmaker. If you don't land hooks or shots, you're just throwing. Okay, so now you don't have heal, you don't have hook. The Zarya, you're out of range of your supports. Your Zarya is just gonna melt you. We're gonna jump ahead. Okay, so you came back as Winston, which is a good call. Okay, so the Zarya is here, right? It looks like you're about to pop bubble. I would not pop bubble here. Even though Zarya's gonna do some damage, don't pop bubble here because the bubble's not gonna do anything. You're about to leave, right? Like let her just damage you and then go for this mercy. Okay, you pop the bubble and you don't go for the mercy and you jump into this wall, which is of the possible options you had, you literally picked the worst ones, right? Jump the enemy team, especially squishy guys. Use the bubble to protect you while you're fighting them. You drop the bubble, which didn't protect you because you left anyway, and you didn't jump the squishies. So now you're here in weird no man's land. The Zarya is probably like, I don't know what this Winston is doing. She's just going to start beating you down again. She didn't need bubble there. I wouldn't have ever if I was her. You're finally here on point, able to fight people, but you don't have bubble, so you're just going to get shredded here. Which is exactly what happens. You're like, oh shoot, I can't stay, which is reasonable because again, you used your bubble and wasted it earlier. The Tracer's farming you right now for ult charge. The Tracer's still farming you for ult charge. So you need to figure out what the Zarya is. Okay, Zarya's on. So I think your central bubble usage is really poor. You constantly use it when it's like forced out of you instead of using it to aggress, right? Winston is an aggressive hero, like an aggressive tank. He's not a defensive tank. If you are popping bubbles to keep yourself alive in your backline, I guarantee you will lose almost every single game that way. You must use bubbles when you are attacking the enemy. This right here is not going to help you at all. Though I think maybe it actually saves you guys from grab, which is incredibly lucky. Probably because she's like, no way that Winston is going to pop bubble here. Okay, I would jump the backline here. You got 2 seconds until bubble's up, right? Like, get some value here. Put some pressure on them. Okay, once again, use the bubble in a bad time. Now you're just walking the point while they're shredding you, and you die. Okay, I'm gonna stop watching this because this is not useful in any way. I don't know how much of this is your tilt or your core mechanics, but it does not appear to me that you understand how Winston bubbles work or the general gameplay loop of Winston is, right? Winston is figure out what they're doing, jump the squishies, use bubble to defend yourself while you're in there, then jump back out when you need to, right? Or kill them, depending on how the dive goes, right? You are using bubble defensively, you're not jumping into them, you're jumping into odd places and generally not putting any pressure. As Roadhog, you didn't land any hooks, so it's hard for me to gauge the gameplay because if you don't hit any hooks at any level, you're going to lose. Hopefully that was helpful. And I hope this is helpful for you to climb.